Okay, well, today we are going to look at rearranging formulas that are in a different form. So we've been looking at y equals mx plus c. Just a reminder that m is the gradient or the slope, which measures the steepness of a line, and c is the y-intercept. So we've practiced looking at graphs and making equations. You can also have equations and make graphs. You can do it backwards. But what if you have to draw a graph and the equation is not in this form? What if it's already in a different form? So we can have something that's in this form, which is called standard form, right? So this is useful in some ways, but it's not very useful for us to get this information. So what if we have a question in this form and we need to turn it in to this form? Well, let's do an example of that. So let me just get my textbook so I can have a look at some questions. What if I have, well, actually, let's do it the other way around, shall we? So what if I have y equals 3x plus 5? So first of all, the slope is 3 and the y-intercept is 5, right? That's pretty easy. All we do is look at the numbers. That's super, super easy to do. But what if it's in the wrong form, okay? Change colors again. I've already used pink, let's use red. What if the question looks like this? Let's do 2y equals x plus 8. Now, this is pretty close to being in this form, but y is not by itself. So what I have to do is move this away from the y over to the other side. Remember, when we're undoing an equation, we're always doing the opposite. So if there's no sign, it means times, 2 times y. So I'm going to bring across as a division. Now, this is fine. This is a correct answer, but it's still a bit hard for me to see what the gradient is and what the y-intercept is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide both of these by 2, right? I can't just divide one bit by 2. I have to do all of it by 2. So x over 2, well, isn't that the same as half x, right? 1 divided by 2, that's half. And then 8 divided by 2 is 4. So that means the slope is half and the y-intercept is 4. Now that it's in this form, I can just read my answers straight off it. Let's do another example of that. Let's change to orange this time. Why not? Okay, so what if I have something that looks like this? So minus 3x plus 7 equals, where's the question I'm copying? I've lost it. Oh yeah, negative half y. All right, this one's a bit more complicated. There's a fair bit of stuff going on. So I need to, just like before, it might be on the other side, but it doesn't matter. I'm still trying to get y by itself. So if this is multiplying, right, no sign means times, I have to divide everything by negative half. Now, we don't really like dividing by fractions, do we? That's a bit complicated. Remember, we always flip and multiply. So I'm going to leave this as it is. And instead of dividing by negative 1/2, I am going to instead times by negative 2, right? Because 2 over 1 is 2. Make sense? Still equals y, right? I've got my y thing. So this whole thing equals y. I should have written it there as well. So I've brought it across and divided it by negative half, which is the same as flipping and multiplying. Flip this upside down. 2 over 1 is 2. Still negative though. Now, another way I can write this is just to put it out the front of the brackets, right? That's what we're used to seeing. So now I can distribute, right? It doesn't matter what order you multiply, remember. 3 times 4 is 12. 4 times 3 is 12. It doesn't matter. So I've brought it over the front just because that's how we normally write it, but it's the same thing. You can distribute right from there if you want to. So negative 2, oh, this should be a minus 3. I didn't copy it down correctly. That was a bit silly of me. Negative 2 times negative 3x is positive 6x, right? They cancel each other out. Negative 2 times 7, negative 14. So now I can just see that my slope is 6, the number in front of x, And the y-intercept is -14 because it's this. It doesn't matter that the y is on this side instead of on the other side. It means exactly the same thing. All right, so let's keep going, shall we? Let's do another example. So let's do one with a fraction. 6 minus, I've lost where it was, 2y over 3 equals 2. Oh, wait, there's no x in there. What should I have done? Oh, no, okay, there is no x in there. That's okay. All right, so what I'm going to do is, again, try and get y by itself. So I'm going to bring the 3 across to begin with. Now, obviously, fractions mean divide, so I'm bringing this across as a multiplication. Then I have to bring this across. Oh, sorry, I want to leave this here. I'm going to bring this one across. So -2y equals 2 times 6, which is 6. And then I'm going to subtract 6. Oh, look what's happening. We're getting zeros. -2y equals 0. So y equals 0 divided -2. Y is just 0. All right, that's a pretty easy one. We're allowed to have things like that. That is okay. All right, let's do one last example. I'm going to swap colors again. All right, so let's do this one. All right, so we've got a few things going on here. I'm going to have 2x minus 3y plus 4, all divided by 4, and it's all going to equal 4. All right, let's move around with this. So what I'm trying to do is get y by itself, right? Because I need it to be in this form. Y equals mx plus c. Y always has to be alone. So let's move things around. Move the bottom of your fraction first. I'm going to move that across. Fractions mean division, so I'm going to bring it across as a multiplication. 4 times 4. All right, next thing I'm going to do is move this, my plus 4. I'm going to do the opposite, which means subtracting. So 4 times 4 is 16 minus 4. Now I need to get my 2x away. This is a plus 2x. So I'm going to bring it across. Make sure I keep this negative sign in front of that because it belongs to this term. 16 minus 4 is 12 minus 2x. Then I have to divide everything by -3. 12 minus 2x equals -3. Now, this is a great answer if I don't have to worry about finding m and c, but I do, so I'm going to need to, again, make sure I divide both parts of it by my -3. So 12 divided -3 is -4. -2 divided -3, well, they're going to cancel each other out. And it is 2/3 x, right? Two negatives cancel each other out. Now, we usually write it the other way, 2/3 x minus 4. As long as I keep the right sign with the right term, I can just swap them around. So that means that my slope is 2/3. You don't need to do this last step. You can just read it from here, that's fine. And my y-intercept is -4. So that's what you're doing today. You are rearranging formulas and then finding the gradient and the intercept. So get it from whatever form it's in into y equals mx plus c. And then once you've done that, you can just read what m and c are. Okay, if you've got any questions, please feel free to drop me an email or ask each other. But unfortunately, I am not around today. Or if I happen to be around, this video seems slightly irrelevant. All right, good luck. And yeah, get in touch if you need to.